Stuff.
Hi, this is CHRISEYMANN,
Tracy, Royce,
Luke Rodvold,
and this is the Redroom. Tracy, Luke, and I jump on every week to talk about real estate, acquisition,
a lot of fix and flip,
and design,
dispositions,
Airbnbs,
financial independence, retire early.
We always have a new guest every single week.
We're going to have a lot of fun, all right?
So if you're interested in any or all of those, make sure to join us on the Redroom podcast.
And subscribe to the Redroom.
Share it with your friends or join us on the Phoenix REIA Facebook.
I gotta get
what an
used
intro.
To that. I gotta get used to that intro.
It's a nice little jolt of adrenaline there.
So guys, thanks for joining us on the Redroom Phoenix REIA podcast. If you're on, subscribe, like all the fun stuff that everybody asks you to do. But yeah, the market's feeling good, right? Everybody's happy with the market. It's kind of cruising along. The interest rates have kind of just stayed around that. The 10-year stayed around that 4%, just below 4% at the beginning of the year, and it dipped all the way to jumped to 4.25. Now it's like whatever 4.15. But interest rates still hovering around that 6, 6.125, 6.25. Market seems good. It's January. It feels like we're going to have a good spring. So I've been saying that for about 4 weeks now. So hopefully inventory hasn't seen a big jump. It's just been kind of stuff's coming on the market, stuff's going off the market. So just good old good January.
Well, we're in February now, Chris.
Oh yeah, that's
10 days in, man.
Good point.
Quick.
Time
Whole,
flies when you're having fun.
That whole open weekend and Super Bowl kind of just messes y'all up.
The vortex, of course.
So we're lucky to have one of my good friends on here, Derek. Derek and I go back, I don't know how many years. It's got to be close to 20 now. Maybe more than 20. I don't know. But he's always shaking the market up and doing cool things. And he's got Stayfrank, which you've been running for what, 2 years now, 3 years now? I mean, time flies when we're having fun, right?
Seems like about 22 years, but it's been 4 years. Yeah, 4 years.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So see, look, I thought it was 2 or 3 and it's 4. So what's happening with you these days, Derek?
Just trying to recover from last week of the Phoenix Open, Monday was a little tough, a little challenging, but just always trying to figure out.
Go, Derek.
What's that?
How many days did you go?
Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 5. I went 5 days.
Oh, wow.
Wow. That's a marathon.
Yeah. It was good. Chris, I don't think I saw you out there. Did I?
No, I was just on. We just go to 16. We have a box there. We just kind of hang out there, and I was there for 3 days, so that was enough. And but I had a good time in the 3 days I was there for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking like it's got to be like if you think about sporting events. I mean, obviously Super Bowl takes it. Maybe not this year, but anyway, Super Bowl in general is usually the best. But I tell you what, I mean, if you're a single guy, which I am not, but if you're a single guy and you like sports and you like music and you like beer and you like maybe golf, it's probably got to be the best event you could probably go to in this country in a year, I would think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Especially because it's a week long, like you said.
That's right. You can make it a week long for sure if you want. So anyway, yeah. Besides that, on a real estate note, we're just over here trying to help homeowners get the money they need. I've always tried to do things a little bit differently, I guess. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's not. But Stayfrank was launched as a sale leaseback platform, offering homeowners, obviously a cash offer in their house, the ability to stay in their house for up to really 3 years as a tenant, kind of providing them liquidity today, stability, and being able to stay in the house that they know and like in most cases at a payment they can afford, and then let them transition on to their next move at the end of that lease term. So that's kind of what Stayfrank was launched on. We did that really to source to the big institutional funds that I guess can't buy houses or won't be able to buy houses anymore. They're not really buying houses anyway the last few years. But yeah, that's kind of what Stayfrank was launched upon, was really like, where do you go if you're a homeowner, you have equity, you can't get a loan, you're not bankable for whatever reason, and you don't want to sell and move. Like, what do you do if you need money? There's just not a lot of options. And so sale leasebacks have just been something I've done on and off for over 20 years. And then we've kind of migrated, not migrated, I guess, but we've added on a home equity agreement. They're also known as home equity investments, which I guess is kind of what we'll talk about today. So we're offering those as well. Let me go into what those are.
Yes, let's go.
Yes.
All right, cool. So home equity agreements, home equity investments. The industry's been around for, I don't know, probably about 12 years. And really what it is home equity investment is just that. It's an investment into a homeowner's equity in their house. It's not a loan, so it doesn't have the same requirements that a loan would. There's no minimum income. There's essentially a minimum credit score. Oh my. All right, you think I would put that on do not disturb, but apparently I'm not that savvy. Anyway, so it's not a loan. There's no minimum income. Minimum FICO really is 500, ideally over 550. They cannot be in foreclosure. So that is one requirement of them. But basically what happens is they get money. It's an investment. It's like a shared appreciation model. And they have, depending on the capital partner, they have up to 10 years. Sometimes they'll match the underlying mortgage, if there's underlying mortgage, for how long that mortgage goes, to either refinance or sell the house and pay it off. So that's a general concept of it.
Heck yeah.
Can you walk us through what a deal looks like from a homeowner? They see your advertising, it has this really catchy name, but if I'm homeowner off the street, hey, I heard I can sell my house, but stay here, but tap into my equity. How do you explain that from a homeowner's perspective, or from an investor's perspective to a homeowner?
Yeah, so on the home equity agreements or the sale leasebacks, or just generally speaking?
On the home equity investment.
No. Yeah, home equity. Yeah, so I mean, the homeowners that we talk to who are trying to get loans, they're not a seller. They're not a motivated seller, not someone who's trying to get rid of the house, or it's not a tired landlord, or it's not a probate deal. I mean, it is someone who's like, I live in this house, I need money to solve some sort of financial issue. So when we talk to them, explain to them, obviously we'll do a discovery call. We'll go through a financial needs analysis, like, what pain are they trying to solve? How they try to solve it? What do they need? And when we explain the actual investment part of it, it's try and keep it as simple as possible. But so say you have $1 million house as an example, and someone owes 500 grand. Well, and they need $100,000. What we'll do is we'll say, okay, we'll invest this $100,000 into your house, into your equity, which is equivalent of 10% of the house, right? $1 million house, you invest 100 grand, it's 10%. In exchange for that 10% or that $100,000, they're going to trade us 200 grand of future, 200 grand of future equity in their house. So it doubles in the time. But you pay us back with the appreciation of your house. So as your home appreciates, that's what you use to pay us back, and there's no payments along the way.
Wow.
And you're doing this in how many states again?
8, I think, 8 or 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's the marketing channel you're out there trying to using to get people to call you and say, hey, I want you to look at my house as your next project or your next deal?
Next deal. Yeah. So a lot of them are homeowners that have credit card debts. Maybe they're looking for personal loans or looking at debt settlement or debt resolution programs. Some actually have back taxes. Some have looked into getting a refinance or a line of credit. And then most recently, what we're seeing are business owners trying to get business funding and can't. And again, they're not bankable. Maybe they don't have the income. Maybe they've had a late mortgage payment, whatever it might be. So we are, those are the different, I guess, ideal customer profiles that we're looking for. And we get different web form traffic from different affiliate marketers who are driving traffic to landing pages of homeowners looking for money.
So from the investor standpoint, if I heard correctly, the homeowners don't have to make a payment for up to 10 years. How is that proposed to the investors, which I'm working under the assumption that they're not having payments made to them in the meantime, or are they?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so there's about a half a dozen probably big institutional investors that are providing capital for these, and then you've got different originators like us who are originating the home equity investments for them, and making a fee similar to a mortgage broker, and how that arrangement works. So the institutional capital that's funding these, there is some private capital as well. But you're correct. There is no yield in place. There is no payment. So you've got to have capital that's willing to sit there patiently for their return on and of capital, because there is no payment along the way. Just from an industry macro standpoint, they are now doing large securitizations of home equity investments and agreements. The industry is about a $5 billion industry last year. They're doing $250, $300 million securitizations now. So that helps the capital actually get probably 80 to 90% of their capital back. So that obviously reduces the returns.
Right.
Yeah.
A quick question for you. Do you guys ever, I mean, not that you ever have to, obviously, but I mean, are you ever asked to do renovations to the property, like small things here and there?
No, I mean, the homeowner can do whatever they want with obviously the funds. I mean, if there are issues with the house, like safety issues, then they might require some things to be done with a
Right.
like a holdback for that.
For sure. And that's never on you guys to have to take care of that.
Correct. Right.
That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This product also, if you think about who might be listening and who might be watching, this product actually can also be used for investors. So a smaller amount, it's not, ideally it's used for owner occupants, but there is a carve out with some of the capital providers where they will do, they'll provide this on investment homes as well, which can be interesting too, because there's no payments,
Right.
And what's the length of term on these again? You said 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, I mean, I think 10 years is probably just, I mean, some of them will go longer than that, but yeah, 10 years is the term.
How does that look like since you're at about 12 years now for homeowners selling, refinancing, getting out of them, the returns?
How is what? Sorry, I didn't follow that.
So for people being able to like refinance, get out of them, pay off the loan, if you're 12 years into it and they normally are doing around 5 to 10 years, how have you seen that business cycle play out in terms of those returns and people actually following through on being able to refinance or sell?
Well, I mean, I think for us, it's a newer product, right? So we haven't been around that long. I think the industry as a whole, I think, when pre-COVID, any of the originations that were done before that, it was pretty easy for people to refinance, right? Because due to the low rates and growth of equity. I think now, I mean, it's a bridge product. I mean, it's gonna, over a 10-year period of time, even though it's not tied to an interest rate, it's tied to a percentage of appreciation. I mean, it's gonna be probably low to mid-teens is probably what it's gonna translate to from a cost standpoint. Again, they're getting money that's not normally accessible. There's no payments along the way. So when you kind of factor in accessibility and you factor in no payments, and you factor in, still being able to stay in the house and get the appreciation, I don't know what it ultimately ends up being worth to someone, but that's about the cost of it. So it's probably whether it's going to be someone who's refinancing or whether it's really someone that's like bridging to then sell the house. Maybe they need to make repairs and they can't, and so this gives them liquidity to be able to do it. Or maybe they have some other financial issue of not being able to make a payment, or they're not quite ready to move yet, but they need 50 grand or 100 grand for their business or for life or whatever it might be. So it's a really good bridge product.
It sounds like it.
Well, it's probably not meant to be as a long-term product.
Yeah, it's super interesting. Part of the reason why I ask is because it seems like I mean, obviously there's a huge need for this, being that so many people have a mass amount of equity and don't also want to sell and maybe don't want to have the payment. So it's really interesting. I'm not familiar with it, which is why I'm so inquisitive and taking some notes. But I think I think it's super creative and interesting. So I'm trying to better understand it from both perspectives.
I think it's awesome too, because I mean, you obviously found a niche where there was a need in the market. Kind of what Tracy's saying. You know, you have a certain demographic of people that have a certain situation that they're in that they can't do anything about it, and then here you come, and then you're able to, as long as I feel like the biggest thing is as long as you can get in front of it, in front of enough people, because that's the hardest thing is, marketing wise. If there's a need out there, once you get in front of them, you're going to be able to take care of their problems. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I think kind of like the Venn diagram, if you will, of homeowner has to have equity. I mean, really it's an equity product, right? So probably anything above like 65% is probably going to get tough to provide any kind of value, really probably 60, depending on the price point of the house. Again, there's a couple factors, but 70 to 75% is probably where it's going to max out. But anyway, I mean, it is an option from that standpoint. And I think it's kind of like a waterfall for us, at least. I mean, if you can't get a loan, we talk about a home equity investment or home equity agreement. If they're not eligible for that or for whatever reason, then we go on to our next, our sell and stay product, our sale leaseback product, which, I love, always loved it for over 20 years. It's been misused in the marketplace, for sure, no doubt about it. But like everything, there's a right and wrong way to do anything. So we've kind of customized the sale leaseback to be more home equity agreement-esque, if you will. And the way we do it is cash out probably up to 60 to 70% of their equity today, keep them that property at a payment they can afford. And at the end of that lease term, that property is resold, and then they get another slot. There's an equity, there's a share appreciation model at the end as well too. So kind of get two bites of that apple, similar to how the home equity investment works.
Now, do you have a specific price point that you find yourself buying the most in? Is it from that 250 to 500? Is it that, that traditional home price in, Arizona, 5 to, 4 to 6? I mean, is it kind of higher end? What do you typically find yourself buying in? Or is it all over the board?
No, it's not really all over the board. I mean, I think if you looked at from a bell curve standpoint, that we'd probably be in, from a value standpoint, probably mid 3s to like mid 6s. That's probably where we land. You have some outliers, but yeah, that's kind of where we're there.
So have you seen how much of, in the 3 to 4 years you've been in business, how much have you seen cycle through? Like, are you starting to see, them paying off and, going out the other side, obviously?
Yeah. So home equity investments have, start probably like, we're a little under a year of doing that. So, haven't seen any of those. And again, we're similar to any other kind of acquisition originator, right? We're going to market, we're providing the sales, and then we've got someone that's funding and going to own and operate that. So we don't have visibility into really what happens long term. Same thing kind of in the sale leasebacks, because we're originating for a lot of the funds, and obviously they don't report to us. But I can tell you, our current capital partners, I mean, they're really on at least on the sale leaseback and what they've given us visibility into from the past. I mean, they actually have a lot. They actually have some people that actually are able to get bankable again and buy back the house because they're buying in at such a low equity or low LTV. So yeah, I mean, it certainly does happen a lot.
That's what I was asking earlier. Chris just put it a lot more eloquently than I did.
Oh, well, Chris just put more bluntly, more.
Yep, this is the question.
Yeah, absolutely.
So really, you're just you're having the leads come in, you're figuring out the issue with the house or whatever, or not the issue. You're basically figuring out what the homeowner's problem is, figuring out which solution box they go in, and then if this is the box, then it goes off to the funds that keep these long term.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have some smaller investors, private investors that will fund some too, kind of almost like portfolio deals,
Gotcha.
for sure. But yeah, but that's the main model of Stayfrank. Stayfrank is like an origination acquisition engine for sure.
Yeah.
Capital.
It sort of sounds like that's the triage for institutional lending instead of just going like they were direct to seller before, or maybe getting it through wholesalers. They're not buying as much, right? But if they're using this sort of product as an in-between bridge, is this sort of where they see the market going as far as being able to capitalize on what they have on hand to stay in single family residential?
Yeah, I think generally speaking, I may have misused like institutional investor. I think you have institutional investors that invest in lots of different strategies. In this particular case, some are just focused on the HEIs and HEAs. We call it Blue Owl, Antarctic Capital. I mean, they're big players in the HEI and HEA space. I think the institutional investors that most of us know as wholesalers and acquisition companies who are buying rental properties like scattered single site rental houses, those institutional investors, I mean, I think they've pretty much been dormant for quite some time. I think they've been actually net sellers kind of from a data standpoint for the last few years. So kind of two separate groups of institutional capital funding. I mean, all the people that fund our sale leasebacks now that we bring our deals to, they're all smaller, $20 million, $30 million dollar groups. I mean, some are $5-10 million groups. They're not the $500 million or $1 billion groups.
Gotcha. Cool.
Yeah.
So this is just a way for them to get these assets, with relatively good terms and just portfolio them until that seller wants to exercise their lease back or, exit down the road.
Yeah, I think in either case, like the spirit of these deals, the capital that's investing, they're more hard money lending mentality, if you will. I mean, they're more of an asset-based lender than they are an actual owner and operator of a rental house.
Right.
They're not really buying for depreciation or appreciation or optimizing the expenses for yield. They're really looking at this like, okay, what is this asset worth? Where's our position? And what's our return in a short period of time? That's my take on it, at least. I could be wrong, but that's kind of what I'm getting from it, from the people that are providing capital right now.
And what are the 8 states you're operating in?
Let's see if I can remember. So Arizona, Colorado, Nevada, Texas, Georgia, Florida, Tennessee. I guess there's more. North Carolina, I guess 10. Ohio and Indiana. I think that was 10.
So really those are all, I mean, I think there's, 15 states that make up 80 to 85% of the wholesale business. And I think all 10 of those are in that 15 list.
Yeah. Probably.
So
Chris, are the top three still Arizona, Texas, and Florida?
Yeah. And then North and South Carolina. South Carolina put that law in, and then, but Tennessee's another big one. Colorado, Nevada, other 2 big ones. They don't really wholesale in Colorado, Nevada. Everybody tries to keep their product and retail it. Just some big retailers in those markets, but they still use the acquisition strategies that we all use, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
So what is this? This really wouldn't affect, Trump, jumping out there and going, I'm not letting institutional buyers buy any more homes. That your market wouldn't be affected by that statement, right?
I mean, not on the HEI standpoint, on the sale leaseback where they're actually buying the whole asset. I think, I don't know. I've read some stuff. Honestly, I haven't paid a whole lot of attention to the noise around that, but see how it all shakes out, I guess. But I don't think it's going to affect, the smaller kind of private private groups that are owning 10 houses. Well, maybe it does own if you own 10, but we'll see. We'll see how it all shakes out. I don't even know. I don't know if you guys know like what was even proposed. I know I read it, but I don't remember it off the top of my head.
I think he just tries to get more likes on his Twitter than anything else.
Yeah. Good showman.
Yeah, it's just like I'm going to cut credit cards to 10%. Well, I mean, how do you take a bank and you cut the bank's profit by 2/3, right?
Yeah. Well, I think the question is whose credit cards are going to be closed if that actually was the case. I mean,
everybody under 750.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know, cause and effect. Right? I mean, everything has an issue, but yeah, I think again, we're trying to solve problems, right? So if we're talking to homeowners, whether it's a joint venture deal to go, hey, don't just sell, and then let's joint venture, remodel this and split profits, whether it's that model, whether it's a creative finance deal, whatever it might be. For us, we're just trying to play in the sector where there's a homeowner that actually, they probably need to sell for financial reasons, but they just don't really want to move. And that's where what we're trying to solve. Again, it's tricky. You can't you got to vet the human that's involved, who's living there. You want to set people up for success. You got to make sure the house is habitable and not, doesn't have safety issues. But that's just those where we've always played. So I've had some success recently from other acquisition guys and wholesale guys that they just get stuck in deals for whatever reason. Might be pricing. It might be pricing due to the fact I have to move and where do I go? It's like what we have found is that when you can offer someone the utility or the benefit of staying in that house, it's worth a lot to them. And maybe they will sell at a price that makes the deal work, given that you can offer them the benefit of staying at a price they can afford. So it's not for everyone. I know some people frown against it, but love to have a chance to JV or partner up with anyone out there sourcing deals where, a typical cash deal gets stuck. We certainly have capital ready, willing, and able to fund deals where we might be able to structure a lease back or a home equity investment.
And that's where you're really looking for, like when we were texting the other day, you're looking for, JV partners in those 10 markets we talked about that, they have a solution. They're just a wholesaler, and, the solution of acquiring the house, them moving out and them assigning it to somebody else isn't what the homeowner is looking for, but there's enough equity to make a deal.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So many people are out there doing it. And again, it takes, you got to have the right disclosures and acknowledgments. What we do is we have a purchase and sale agreement that talks about the lease terms and then option if there is an option in it. But then we always have the capital that funds the deal. They use their lease agreement and their option agreement if there is one. And they sign that one at closing directly with the seller. So people can sign up a deal with a purchase contract. We provide the lease terms of how long and how much, and then they can assign that to us. And then ultimately, like I said, we can just have the capital partner sign their own lease agreement, so they don't have to get involved in all that stuff for it. But yeah. I mean, love to have people that are. Chris, I remember, you talked about when did we meet, and I do remember going to Tiffany and Bosco and sitting in one of those rooms. I felt like had a bunch of books on the walls that some attorneys' offices do. Maybe this conference room didn't, where we were bidding, and I was just like, who the hell is this? Who the hell is this tall guy? What is he? Plus $1 or plus one, or I don't know, whatever. What did you say? Plus $1 or plus $1?
Yeah, plus $1, plus 100, plus 1,000. But if you met me at Tiffany and Bosco when the rooms still had books in them, that was probably 2001 or 2002, before they moved over to 20th Street in Camelback, because they were over there on Central.
Yeah. Maybe I was. I think it was 2002 or 3, but so it was right around there. Anyway, what the heck was my point of that? I don't even know. I got lost on that. But
so you were talking about if people potentially had a lead, how do they find out if it's a good lead for you? How would they run it through you? How do they JV or assign it to you?
Yeah, thank you, Teresa. I know what I was remembering. I used to think, like, back when we were so creative and we were getting the Net Value Central foreclosure list, right? And like getting in the car with a printout and MapQuest directions and going to the door and knocking and, using like handwritten notes, thinking we were so sophisticated. Now you got all these kids out there that I don't even know what the heck they're doing, as better marketers than I'll ever think about being. But so love to JV with them. I actually, in the final phases, I'll have an online portal that they can actually submit that will right there and then talk about eligibility and approximately how much cash we could get a homeowner. So I can share that, Chris, with you guys as it finishes up. That you can share it with the community. But I guess for now, Tracy, so how do they determine eligibility more so? Or how could they know if it's worth it or not to
how can they run a deal past you?
Yeah.
Or past your company?
Contact you.
Yeah. Derek at stayfrank.com is my email. So I can get added to everyone's list now, which is fine. But yeah, I mean, just that's probably the easiest way, or message me on Instagram or LinkedIn. Single family houses, pretty, we don't want the outliers. Don't want the ones next to railroad tracks. Pretty typical stuff that we all know and understand. And I think
Pools?
a good. What's that?
Pools?
Yeah, it's fine. Pools are fine. Yeah. Solar on occasion's fine.
Yeah.
That stuff. But yeah, absolutely.
Well, cool. Well, we appreciate you jumping on, and this will be all over YouTube, both my channel and Luke's channel, and the Phoenix REIA, and if anybody watches this in the future, I'm sure there's not a whole lot of people searching sale leaseback, so maybe we'll just get some good old fashioned people finding us on Google. So
here we go.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, well, I appreciate the opportunity as well. It's cool. It's funny, again, not to age ourselves, Chris, again, but like used to be the young guy, right? And now, I mean, I don't know, Tracy, when do you think we met for the first time? Do you remember?
Oh gosh,
it's like 2 years ago, I'm sure. But
2007, 2006, or 2000, something around there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're like the grown-ups in the classroom. I don't know how that happened.
I know. But thanks you guys for putting this stuff together, man. That's good. I mean, I come out to your guys' stuff, and it's great to hear what other people are thinking, and I think that's the real benefit of any industry, is the networking and hearing what other people are doing and learning and sharing best practices and wins and losses and all that kind of stuff. So it's needed, especially I think in this industry, right? You can get kind of isolated and alone when you're a solopreneur trying to do your own deal in an office. It's nice to like have compadres know what they're dealing with and experiencing. So
right. What's working, what's not.
Yeah. Especially with really creative, niche stuff like this too, and to add it to your toolbox for any investor that's out there. So super creative, always in front of the market, Derek.
Yeah, always something. Hey, that's good and bad sometimes. Like I said, it's not always good. But.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Thanks for jumping on, Derek.
Yeah,
absolutely. Thanks, Derek.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
All right. See ya.
Hey, thanks for watching that episode. And this is the start of your real estate journey. There's over 100 episodes and a bunch of playlists. And please hit subscribe before you move on to the next video.